Saunders with a song called Renegades, and it's actually quite appropriate because I have one of the Renegades. I suppose we can call you that to some extent. Sitting in front of me here, he's known as Mr. Africa in cycling circles. It's Money Hammonds. He's taken time out of his very busy schedule because he's a man who does things 24 hours a day. Well, 23 because you have something else to do now in the 24th hour a day, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's this little race from Windhoek to Swakopmund
that small little thing that
small little endurance event, called the Desert Dash, now being called the Nedbank Desert Dash.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to be part of this, legacy. I didn't think it could die. I was a little bit afraid there, but always had it in the back of my mind to get it back on track.
It's great to see that Aidan de Lange is still involved in an advisory capacity.
Very
because
much
he
so.
knows what goes into organising something that size. So it's nice to be able to call on him, press on his number and say, listen, what do you suggest we do, or what should we do, that sort of thing, yeah?
No, for sure. Look, I mean, what Summit has done in the last 10 years, it's not something you can get even in 1 year if you work hard, So I know that from the past, you don't have to go and bump your head again against some stuff. So,
Sure.
He's done all of that, and, we're very thankful that he's agreed to also share in his knowledge that he's actually had over the last 10 years. And, only if there's a team effort, then, we can make this year's Nedbank Desert Dash even bigger and better than what the last 10 has been.
I presume the format is going to stay basically the same. It'll be a 24-hour race, Windhoek over the Kommershoogland, over the hill there, down to the coast. Distance will stay the same. The time will basically stay the same. What about your entry numbers? Is there scope for it to get larger, or is it already basically at max?
No, look, I mean, like I said, you don't change the winning formula. Again, we will sit and consult a little bit more with Aidan, because he's also had all these questions being asked by himself, by the public, by the sponsors, and numbers will be pretty much the same. There is a limit of the amount of cars that you can take on the road, If we had a very good weather prediction and they can promise us that it'll rain a week prior to that and there will be no dust on the roads,
yeah, sure.
Maybe we can put another 50 cars on the road. But you also want to keep this like a special event,
Sure.
Like Aidan said in the past, on that weekend there's more cars going over the pass and over that route than maybe in half a year prior to that,
Sure.
So you don't want to stuff all of that up. So numbers will be pretty much the same. Again, the entry for solos will be the first to open. I think that's on the 31st of August, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think the number limit there will be 100 solo riders. It's actually crazy. I mean, if I think there's 100 people that want to ride their bicycle on their own.
By themselves for
369 kilometers, starting at 35, 37 degrees. It's just crazy, but, that is what makes this sport and this event such a challenge out there.
I still wanted to ask you, just before we take a break, this must be one of a kind. I don't think there's anything much like it in the world.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people claim they've got the bigger and better event. Some events come to my mind, the Hallenbach, where you go somewhere and you go up and down a pass on the one day and then you sleep over and do the same in reverse on the next day, but that sleep factor is the important one,
Sure.
So with this event, there's no sleep, or you can maybe sleep and not make it, or
you can cycle as fast as you do
and go and sleep
you
in
actually don't
Swakopmund.
miss any time.
Or you
You
can go and sleep in Swakopmund, So yeah, that is, like I said, and there's some other events. I know there's a 361 in South Africa that's 361 kilometers. So they're about 8 kilometers short. But I don't think it's about the distance.
Sure.
I think this is about starting in Windhoek, climbing to an altitude of 2,000 meters. Like I say, it can be 40 degrees up the pass. A lot of the guys that push the time actually kills themselves in the first 35 kilometers.
Sure.
And this is an event over 369 kilometers, So if you go and take it on, make sure that you actually plan for 369 kilometers.
Anyway, it's really good news. And I must say, you guys pulled it together very quickly. I mean, it was literally 7 to 10 days from this is off, it's over, it's done, 10 years is enough, to new sponsor, you got ons now. So
Yeah.
great news to see that Nedbank came on board that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, Nedbank was very, very helpful in all of this, dealing with the corporates, and in that high level, it can normally take
Sure.
weeks, months, to get a decision. But I must say, this all happened in a matter of 3 or 4 days, from making the offer and getting all papers signed, and because time is very crucial.
Sure, of course.
Well,
the thing is, you're at that point now where the people who are taking it seriously, they don't want to break 2 or 3 weeks before I've got to get back on and get. You can't lose that time.
Yeah, there was already, the people were already like, I felt it in the bike shop. There was a little bit of a bad vibe under the cyclists, and I think you can feel it on some of the other races because people actually they use some of the other races in Namibia to prepare for the Nedbank Desert Dash. And that's just why it, to me, the post I put out, the dash is not dead. That's been going around in my head, I think, for 2 weeks until the announcement was made, because it just couldn't be true.
Well, now of course we know what that means, Money. In real terms, your Christmas van nou af is, well, not quite, because it's done by Christmas, but your run up to Christmas is going to be really hectic. Not that you normally don't have that problem in your shop, you have that anyway, right? But now it's hectic. What kind of a size team have you got together who can help you with this?
Yeah, look, I mean, an event like this and the size of an event like this, you can't do it on your own. I mean, Aidan was the brain behind the Desert Dash, but he had a lot of helpers, that helped him to do the event, and we'll just try and lift it to a level where it's going to be different for the organizers. We don't want to burn ourselves out in 2 years' time. So we've just gone through and got some people that will help us, and we'll pay them decent money, so they will come up and
it'll be done well. It'll be done professionally.
Do a professional job for us, because, like I mean, the shop is busy and it's getting very, very busy come December and Desert Dash time. So, but we will do the work now. We'll do the hard work now. The organization, and it's like sitting on top and just make sure that all the moves are happening. And there you just need, I would say, maybe an hour a day, and that's 5 hours a week. So I'm sure I can make time available for that. Again,
between 2 and 4 in the morning, Money.
Yeah, well, I mean, 2 and 4, then there's not too many people that will bother me at the shop, so we'll get a lot done.
And it keeps you out of trouble. That's, of course, the voice there of Money Hayman, Mr. Africa in cycling circles, with the good news that the dash is not dead. It's now the Nedbank Dash, and look at it. It's going to be going down to the coast early December.
Thank you very much.